Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we are looking at a paper trending on X, published on November 20th, 2025, about 4 days ago. It shows that when these Colombian students distrust human guides like priests, peers, or adults, they shift their trust toward artificial intelligence, so much so that adults are chosen about 35% of the time, and artificial intelligence about 28%. The paper is titled, "Trust in AI Emerges from Distrust in Humans, a machine learning study on decision-making guidance." And as we will see later, the psychological implications for how people lean on artificial intelligence are pretty striking. Alright, that overview of the results set the stage. Figure 1 now lays out the core mechanism the authors want to test. The diagram shows distrust in human agents feeding into a cognitive transfer process, which increases deferred trust in artificial intelligence and, in turn, leads to artificial intelligence agent selection. Individual factors like artificial intelligence literacy and personal bias, and the decision context, such as factual or social questions, sit around this pathway and moderate how strong that transfer toward artificial intelligence becomes. So, while Figure 1 sketched the deferred trust mechanism, Table 1 grounds it in who these students actually were. Table 1 summarizes descriptive statistics for participants, listing age, technology use, access to services, and baseline trust in different agents. The students averaged about 19 years old and had moderate technology use. Almost all had stable utilities and internet, which means material access was high. Trust scores were highest for adults and peers, with artificial intelligence and priests sitting somewhat lower but still in the mid-range. Well, Figure 2 shows one of the decision situations the students faced in the experiment. The question at the top asks what to do about telling parents about bad grades, which is a clearly emotional and social dilemma. Below, 5 large images represent the possible guides: a priest, a voice assistant device, an artificial intelligence chat on a computer, an adult, and a peer. Each option includes a short description and a radio button, so the student must pick exactly one guide for that situation. So while that single vignette showed one dilemma screen, Figure 2 aggregates all 30 scenarios into overall preferences by agent. The bar chart highlights that adult humans were chosen most often, slightly above 570 times. Artificial intelligence comes second with about 460 selections, and peers follow not too far behind. Voice assistants and priests sit much lower, which suggests that students rarely turned to either ritual authority or smart speakers when they wanted guidance. Alright. The previous figure compared raw accounts by guide, and Figure 3 digs into patterns using clustering. The top row groups situations and shows that one situation cluster is dominated by artificial intelligence choices, while the other 2 clusters lean strongly toward peers and adults. The bottom row clusters participants, revealing one group that chooses artificial intelligence more often and another that prefers adult guidance. These patterns confirm that both context and user profile shape when deferred trust toward artificial intelligence appears. So, while Figure 3 highlighted clusters of situations and people, this figure explains which personal variables drive choosing the artificial intelligence guide in 3 specific scenarios. The left panel shows that lower trust in priests, peers, and adults nudges the model toward predicting artificial intelligence selection. The right panel similarly weights distrust in adults and priests very strongly. The bottom panel adds that higher socioeconomic level and slightly lower general technology use also characterize students who defer to artificial intelligence in these cases. So stepping back, the big message is that trust in artificial intelligence often grows out of disappointment with human advisors, not just love for the technology itself, and that this deferred trust can quietly push people to over-rely on fluent large language model answers. Wrapping up, that is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.